Well, hey everybody, welcome to JW High School Online. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Wednesday night to spend it with us. As you can see, I am fully decked out in my Fala Llama onesie, and this week we asked you guys to send us pictures via social media, via email, of you in your ugliest Christmas sweater. We put those out on our Instagram today, and we chose our winner around noon, so make sure you check out our Instagram account to see who won our Best Ugly Christmas Sweater contest. Now, before we get to the message tonight, I do want to jump into our game time, so check this out.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to our JW High School Online game tonight. I have 4 contestants and Meredith, our intern, with us tonight. So I've got Jacob Munns and Ethan Reedy, Abby Reedy, and Clara Peterson. It's the old-fashioned boys versus girls playing a game we like to call Christmas Survey Says. It's a Family Feud style game, super simple rules. They will compete against each other to see who can get the most points in a round. We will play several rounds, and the team with the most points at the end wins. And Meredith has a very awesome prize, which she will reveal at the end of our game time tonight. So, without further ado, Jacob, Ethan, Abby, and Clara, are you guys ready to play our game?
Yeah.
Yep.
I am.
All right, so the first category is going to come up on the screen. Shout out an answer, and the first team to shout out an answer will be judged on that answer, and if you get it correct, you will be the first team to play that round. All right, here we go. Name something you need to wrap a gift.
Bow.
Wrapping paper.
Abby.
Who said bow?
Me.
Abby did? Okay. Unfortunately, that is not on there. And Ethan, what did you say?
Wrapping paper.
Wrapping paper is the number 2 answer for 23 points. So we go back to Jacob and Ethan. It is your turn as the guys' team to play this round. So Jacob, you have the next guess. What is something you need to wrap a gift?
A gift bag.
A gift bag. Ooh, unfortunately, that is not on the list. Ethan, do you want to try again?
How about tape?
No, tape is the number 1 answer for 37 points. All right, Jacob, back to you.
Tissue.
Tissue. Ooh, unfortunately, that is not on the list. All right, so girls, the boys have 2 strikes. So if they get a 3rd strike, you have an option to steal their 60 points that they have gotten so far. So be thinking about an answer in case they get a 3rd strike here. All right, Ethan, back to you.
I can't think of much else I would need.
All right, throw something out there.
What about a gift? I mean, you need a gift to wrap a gift.
Let's go with the obvious, huh? All right, hey!
Let's go.
Let's go! Nice. All right, Jacob, back to you.
Scissors.
Scissors, all right. Oh, the number 5 answer,
Nice.
scissors. So what are they up to now? 84? 84 points? All right, 2 options left. Ethan, back to you.
Ribbon.
Oh, the number 4 answer, 10
Nice.
points. All right, Jacob, one more option out there.
Box.
A box. Oh, they cleared the scoreboard.
Nice.
Nice job, boys. You did awesome. So, Meredith,
Ethan,
what do they have?
100 points.
100 points even for the boys. Wow. That was awesome, guys. All right, girls, we're going to pass it over to you. See how many points you guys can get on your first round. Here is your category. Name something to put on a Christmas tree.
Ornament.
All right, Claire's going with ornaments. Oh, there's no point value. Hang on a second.
Oh, man.
I don't know why there's no point on that one. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds here.
Good guess, Clara.
Yeah, great guess.
I must say I agreed with Jacob's guesses of a bag and tissue paper. That's the easiest way to wrap a gift.
Yeah.
Put it in a bag.
All right, so she said ornaments.
Mm-hmm.
That is the number 1 answer.
Points.
Nice
Nice.
job, Clara. All right, Abby, over to you.
Christmas lights.
All right, let's see if it's on there. It indeed is lights for 26 points. Back to you, Clara.
Candy canes.
Candy canes, all right. Ooh, unfortunately that is not on there. Back to you, Abby.
The star on the top.
All right. I think we'll give that to you. It's a tree topper, right? Yeah, goes on top of the tree. All right, one more answer to something on a Christmas tree, and back to you, Clara.
A tree skirt.
All right. Ooh, unfortunately that is not on there. 2 strikes. All right, boys, they have 2 strikes. So if they do not get this last option correct, you have a chance to steal. Abby, what do you think is the last thing that you can put on a Christmas tree?
Garland.
Garland, she says. Oh, unfortunately that is not on there. All right, boys, if you get this 4th option correct, you steal all of their points. If you get it incorrect, the girls will get the points that they've already accumulated. Ethan, Jacob, do you guys have a shot at it?
I have a guess.
Go for it.
Tinsel.
All right, he goes with tinsel. This would be stealing. How many points, Meredith, would this steal?
84.
84 points.
Alright.
Going with tinsel. Indeed, it is
Let's
tinsel.
Oh,
Oh no! What
They
a
get-
steal!
Then
They get all those points. Yep.
190 points.
Wow. All right, girls, back to you. Category coming up,
Oh, I hope it's.
and here it comes. Girls, name one piece of the nativity set.
Stable.
Stable. Ooh, not on there, Abby. Clara.
Good.
Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus, she says. That is the number 1 answer. Thank God it was on there. I'd be really scared if it wasn't on there. All right, back to you, Abby. One piece.
Mary.
Mary? You think she's got to be there? She is indeed in there.
The
All right, Clara.
The wise men.
Wise men. No smart guys. Let's see if they're on there. All right, they are the number 3. Back to you, Abby.
angel.
An angel. Indeed. For 2 points. Racking them up.
64 points.
All right, it's a good start. All right, back to you, Clara.
Joseph.
Joseph. He's not on there. I'm just going on the game here, guys. They don't have him on there. Back to you.
Survey did not say.
Animals.
Animals. How about sheeps and lambs? I'll even throw in a donkey. I'll give you those 2 options because you said animals. General statement.
Yeah.
All right, you guys still have 2 strikes. You have 1 more guess, and then the boys could potentially steal. Clara, it's back to you.
Shepherds.
Not on there.
What?
I know. Again, I didn't come up with the game. All right, boys, you got a chance to steal. There's 1 option left. A piece of the nativity set. Throw an answer out there, Jacob.
Moses.
Oh, unfortunately, that's not on there. Girls, how many points did they get, Meredith?
76.
All right, so what's our score right now?
190 for Jacob and Ethan, and 76 for Clara and Emily.
All right, so let's play a couple more rounds. We're doing good on time here. All right, let's go to our next round.
Can we know what the number 2 answer was?
Oh, yeah.
What's-
Number 2 answer was manger. All right, let's go to our next category. This is going to be another toss-up category, so you all 4 have an option to yell out an answer, and the first team to get an answer out that is correct will take this back to the field to compete. You guys ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Ethan, you're muted, so if you're going to yell anything out, you better unmute yourself. All right, here we go.
Right.
Name a popular Christmas symbol.
Star.
I think I heard Clara first, so she said tree. Ooh, number one answer. 38 points. All right, back to the girls' team. You guys need this round. You need a lot of points to come back on this one. So you got 38 already. Name another popular Christmas symbol. Abby.
A present.
Present. Clara.
Right?
An angel.
What?
What?
I have to know what constitutes symbol here.
Back to you. Back to you with 2 strikes. A popular Christmas symbol. Basically something that makes you think of Christmas.
Snow?
Snow? I'll give it to you. Snowflake.
Hey, good.
Thanks.
I'll give it to you. Snowflake. All right, Clara, back to
117
you.
points.
Santa.
Santa, she says. Oh, the number 4 answer is Santa. All right, Abby, back to you with 2 strikes. She's thinking real hard.
An ornament, I guess?
All right, let's see if it's on there. Unfortunately, it's not. All right, boys. You have a chance to get some more points. What do you think?
I gotta answer stocking.
Stocking. Ooh, unfortunately, that's not on there. So the girls get, what is that? 16 and 38 is 54. Is that right? 54 more points.
Oh, goodness.
All right, what's our score right
Hard.
now?
190 to 130 with the guys in the lead by 60 points.
Ooh. I think we're going to play one final round to see where we can end up at here. So let's reveal the answers for number 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8. The number 2 answer was a star. The third answer was cross. Number 5 was candy cane. Number 7, bells. And number 8 was a wreath.
See, I had those last 2 in my mind, but when whatever the second one that I said came up negative, I was like, no, it can't be. Like, it has to be something like obscure that I can't think of.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This one's for all the marbles. Okay, so this is another toss-up round. Whoever yells out the first answer and gets it, that will go back to your team. This could determine if we even have to go any further. All right, here we go. Last round. Name a Christmas greeting.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Oh, I heard Ethan first, and he said Merry Christmas. The number 1 answer for 65 points.
Alright.
All right, Jacob, name a Christmas greeting besides Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas?
Yeah.
That is not on there, unfortunately. Ethan, back to you for another try.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, he says. That is the number 2 answer for 17 points. All right, Jacob, back to you. 2 left. Another Christmas greeting.
Happy Hanukkah.
Ooh, good guess. Portion that is not on there. All right, girls, they have 2 strikes. If they do not get this right, and you can figure out one of the last 2 options, you would steal what I believe to be 83 points. Or 82 points. Sorry, 82.
Points.
I was doing it in my head. I missed the number. I didn't carry the 1. All right, boys. Ethan, your guess. There's 2 options left. If you get it incorrect, the girls have a chance to steal.
Oh my. I have no idea.
I'm not going to count that as your guess.
Okay. Feliz Navidad.
Whoa, he's going in a second language, going Spanish on us. Oh my goodness, it is on there.
Nice.
All right. I think that means officially it is out of reach for the girls. So congratulations, Jacob. Congratulations, Ethan. You guys have won our Christmas Survey Says game. The third answer for Name a Christmas Greeting was Seasons Greeting.
Oh, interesting.
Abby, Clara, thank you guys so much for playing. You guys did an awesome job. Meredith, do you want to tell the boys what their prize is?
You will get to pick a place of your choice, a restaurant or a coffee shop, and you will get a $10 gift card to your place of choice.
So once we're done with this call, guys, just send me an email and we will get a gift card mailed out to you guys, and you can enjoy that over your holiday break. Thanks again, guys, for joining us. We're going to get back to the message now, so we'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, so we are in the last week of our Christmas Lights series, and I want to do a really quick recap. So if you weren't here in the last 2 weeks, I just want to catch you up on where we're at in the Christmas story. So week 1, we focused on what happens when we start to lower our expectations of God. And we talked about 4 main points in that message. 1, if we lower our expectations of God, we usually stop praying. We usually stop praying because we believe either God can't or he won't answer us or do what we're asking him to do. We lose interest in anything faith-related because God seems kind of distant, far away, or uninterested in what's going on in our lives. Maybe we think God is weak, and then we assume that he's unable to do anything big or powerful in our lives or in the lives of the people around us. Or maybe we think that God is just genuinely uninterested in our lives. Like maybe he doesn't know or doesn't care anything about our lives, so why bother telling him about it or expecting him to do anything anyway? Now, the people that we focused on in this story were awaiting the Savior, and they had expectations of who God was going to be when he showed up to save them. They expected him to be powerful, to be super obvious, to be predictable, and they wanted to be able to understand who God was. The problem is their expectations did not meet the reality that they were shown because God showed up as a baby. So we took those expectations that they had and we flipped them on their ear and we asked this question: what if they were missing the point? What if their expectations were the wall that stopped them from seeing who God really was? And then we asked ourselves a more personal question: what if we are missing the point? Now, we looked at a passage of Scripture in Matthew chapter 1. I'm going to read it really quickly for us here. And it comes out of verse 21 through 23. It says this: "She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel," which means God with us. Now, the people were so interested in their own expectations of who God was going to be, this powerful, predictable king, that they missed the most important one, which was that God was present and he was relatable. So we asked the question, what does it mean that God is Emmanuel, that God is with us? God isn't distant. Actually, I believe he's probably closer than we would ever dare to dream or imagine, as close as our breath. He's approachable. He understands. God understands us, and he listens. God does not turn a deaf ear to us when we speak to him. Now, if we truly embrace what it means that God is Emmanuel, that should change every part of our lives. Because God isn't on the outside looking in, he's on the inside watching out. He's watching out for you. He's watching out for me. His commands and his laws that he set in place were there to protect us, not to harm us. He is not some far-off God that is not interested in his people. He is with us in every single moment, watching over us. And he gets it. He understands what we're going through. And that's where we focused our time and attention last week. We read through part of the Gospel of Luke as it told of Jesus' birth, and I posed you guys this question. If you were the God of the universe, so just, again, we role-played last week, just take a couple minutes here and role-play again with me. If you were the God of the universe and you wanted to show up on earth to your people that you created for the very first time, how would you do it? Think about it for just a couple seconds in your brain. Maybe there's a big parade and you're riding high on this chariot, presenting yourself to your people. I don't know, maybe if you think about modern times, the technology we have now, you'd come in with this huge light show like the Super Bowl halftime show. If you were God, how would you show up to your people? And then contrast that with actually how God did show up to his people. And I said this, I bet for most of you, hopefully all of you, I bet you would show up with clothes on at least. But God didn't. God showed up as a naked, helpless baby born in a barn. Not the king's welcome that people were expecting. This helpless child in the lowest of lows. His birth was first announced to the stinky shepherds out in the fields, not to the kings and the princes in the palace or to the super religious people in the temple. Jesus was an ordinary person. He was basic, as you guys would say. Jesus was basic. The Christmas story is an awesome picture of what God is like. You see, God wanted to put himself in our shoes. Jesus worked a manual labor job for most of his life. He was a carpenter alongside of his father Joseph. And if you've ever done any work with your hands, with materials like wood and nails and stone, that is a hard task. It wears your body down. You have splinters, you have cuts, you have cracked hands. I'm sure he smashed his hands with a hammer or pinched them. He felt what it felt to be human. Jesus also experienced all the emotional things that you and I feel: anger, disappointment, sadness, joy, the whole spectrum. Because he was fully human and yet fully God, he experienced what it's like to be a human. Now, I know this Christmas doesn't look like any other Christmas we've ever had. I mean, I'm standing up here all by myself in a Christmas onesie, for crying out loud. This is not normal. Usually this place would be packed with you guys. We'd be having an ugly sweater party. We'd have a message and awesome worship as we reflect on the Christmas story. We'd be playing games. We'd be wrapping our leaders in wrapping paper, running all over the church, just having a lot of fun. But that's not our reality. There is no big Christmas party this year. There's a lot of other realities that we're trying to embrace in our own lives too. For some of us, we won't see family this year that we would normally see for Christmas because of the restrictions and the guidelines that are in place to protect us right now. Maybe money is really tight in your house because of a job loss due to COVID this year. Or maybe for some of you even deeper, you've lost a loved one and this is the first Christmas that you will experience without them. There's just a lot of hard this year. If we were being honest, there's just a lot of hard. So I want to share a verse with you guys that right now is really bringing me encouragement in a very dark time. And I pray that it does the same for you. And it's out of Psalm 46, verse 10, and it says this: "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." The first two words, be still. How good are you at being still? It feels weird, right? Like I just took probably 3.5 seconds to be still, and my eyes start to wander, my body starts to fidget. I don't know what it means to be still. Because we live in a world where we're constantly bombarded and there's things competing for our time and attention. Our ears, our eyes, our senses are constantly on overload because of the world around us. But as we end the year 2020, and I know for some people that I've heard, they can't wait for it to be over, and I understand that because of what we've experienced this year. And I know a lot of us are looking forward to 2021 and just turning the calendar and the anticipation that comes with that. But as I've begun reflecting on 2020 and looking forward and praying about what's coming next, This is kind of where I've landed, and I want to share this with you guys tonight to hopefully provide some encouragement and just let you know kind of where I'm at. This next year, I want to be more. Now, it's a little bit of a play on words because you might be thinking, okay, be more what? And it is a play on words. I do want to be more loving, joyful, peaceful, patient, kind, good, faithful, gentle, and have more self-control. I want the fruits of the Spirit to be evident in my life. But I'd also like to be more. I'd like to exist more in the moment. To not be so overwhelmed with the uncertainty of what's coming next, but to actually live, maybe for the first time. You know, there's a cliche saying that, do you know why the present is called the present? Because it's a gift. Now, it sounds silly, but it's true. How many times do I dismiss the gift of life? The actual fact right now that I'm breathing and speaking to a camera and you're listening to it on your device. I'm alive right now. Have you ever felt like you're not really living? That you're just kind of floating through on cruise control, not really living, just existing? I know I have. I'm in a season of that right now, and I don't want that for me, and I definitely do not want it for you guys. So for me, I have to stop being so focused on doing things and focus more on being. And I think especially this time of year around Christmas, if we truly are going to experience Jesus at Christmas, we have to be willing to take time to be with him. To not just do things for him, but to actually be with him. To receive the gift and the reality of what his life means for us. To understand that salvation really is that simple. Accepting the gift of Jesus. Nothing more, nothing less. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to clean yourself up in order to be given it. All you have to do is accept it, to trust that he's enough, and because of his gift, that you are now enough. So how can I be more? I wish I had a quick answer, but I'm really still figuring this one out for myself. But I think it starts with this. We need to rekindle our hope. And you may be thinking, how can I take this guy seriously? He's in a onesie right now preaching this, but I do want you to hear this from my heart. We need to rekindle our hope. We need to place our hope back in the only thing that can't change, because we've all experienced this year specifically the ping pong style of change. We're over here, we're doing one thing. All right, now we got to come over here and do this. Wait, we can't do that anymore. Now we got to come back over here, and back and forth we go. And if we start to put our hope in comfort or the certainty that we know what's coming next, we're going to wind up pretty hopeless. And lately, I've found myself in that place because I've been putting way too much hope in the comfort and the certainty of knowing what's coming even this afternoon, tomorrow, next week. But if we start placing our hope in those places, we're going to end up very hopeless. So the only way for us to get out of that is to let God remind us who we are and who he is. He is faithful. Through the ages, he has always and will continue to be faithful. And we are welcomed and wanted in his presence. Jesus wants to be with you. I know that can be hard to believe sometimes, especially if you're dealing with a sin issue in your life where you're like, there's no way he wants to be with me right now. If he knew what I had done, well, newsflash, he knows. He knows exactly what you've done. He knows exactly what I've done. And yet, he still wants to spend time with you and to be present with you. So I think for us, it's time to shut off the world a little bit around us and tune in to God's still, small voice. We talked about this last week on our podcast. Hopefully you guys checked out week 2 of our Advent podcast on the Student Life podcast. But we talked about what it's like to hear God's voice. Now, we didn't spend a ton of time on it, but what we did focus on is God doesn't want to have to compete with the noise around us to get our attention. So sometimes what he's asking is for us to shut off the noise, come close enough to him so that we can hear his whisper. Because like a loving father, he wants his children to come close so he can whisper in their ear and tell them all the things that he loves about them, how much he cares about them, and how much he cares about you. It's time for us to be still. It's time for us to be expectant. And it's time for us to return, myself and hopefully you, to our first love. Now I want to move to a time of worship, and I want us to listen to this song in a very reflective way. The song is called Take Me Back, and Shua and Elise are going to lead this song for us. And I want you guys to just listen to the lyrics. Reflect on this. Reflect on what we've been going through in the last 3 weeks of our series. And just take some time to reflect on where you're at right now with God and where you can take a next step to be with him as we close off 2020. Let's listen to this together.
I remember when I was young and your voice shouting loud my name. And since that moment, haven't heard it quite that way. Well, now that I'm older, could you say it again? Yeah. I remember when I was afraid, and oh, the hand I felt lead the way. And for the first time in my life, I felt safe. Oh God, now that I'm older, would you lead me again? 'Cause when the storm's out on the ocean and the violent wind gets to blowing, oh, take me back, back, all the way back. Oh, take me back to my first love. I remember when I was blind, then your love opened up my eyes, and all the lights that flooded my life. Well, now that I'm older, could you say it again? Would you show me again? 'Cause when the storm's out on the ocean and the violent wind gets to blowing, oh, take me back, back, all the way back. Oh, take me back to my first love. 'Cause you are real to me. I've known it from the start. And there's no space between the heavens and my heart. Oh, you are near to me. I've never been too far. And in the in-between, you brought heaven to my heart, yeah. 'Cause when the storm's out on the ocean and the violent wind was all simple and loving was easy, when it was all simple and trusting was easy, when it was all simple and loving was easy, when it was all simple and trusting was easy, when it was all simple and loving was easy, when it was all simple and trusting was easy, when it was all simple and loving was easy, when it was all simple. 'Cause when the storm's out on the ocean and the violent wind gets to blowing, oh, take me back, back, all the way back, oh, take me back, all the way back, oh, take me back, all the way back, oh, take me back to my first love.
All right, I just want to read through some of those lyrics, specifically the lyrics in that song that hit me the most, and hopefully they stood out to you as well. And it says this: when the storm's out on the ocean and the violent winds get to blowing, take me back, back, all the way back. Take me back to my first love. I want that to be my prayer this Christmas. I want it to be your prayer this Christmas, that we would be taken all the way back to that first time we had an encounter with Jesus. Take me back, Lord, to my first love, that you would be the thing, the person that I love the most, that I cherish the most, that I dedicate my life to, and put you in the right priority. Let's close in prayer. Father, I do thank you for this time to meet with our students on JW High School Online. I thank you for the power of technology and where it's brought us today. I pray for all of my students that are listening to this, that this would just be a Christmas that they remember, where they take the time to be still and to listen for your still small voice. That they would have an encounter with you that is so real and so evident that it changes their whole life. And that you would take us all back to our first love, that we would focus more on being with you instead of doing things for you. That we would just spend time being your children and hearing you speak to us and hearing you whisper in our ears how much you love us. In your name, amen. All right, a couple really quick announcements before I let you guys go. We are doing our Student Life podcast every Thursday. We have a new episode coming out. We have week 3 coming out tomorrow afternoon of Advent, so make sure you guys check that out. Also, we are still doing our Giving Hope messages. We are writing thank you cards to staff at schools, and we're writing them to hospital workers and first responders. We're also doing Christmas cards to people in nursing homes, so we will drop a link in the chat right now for you guys to go out, fill out a message. Even if you're not coming to church on the weekends, take a second, fill out that form. We will write that message on a card and get that out to some of the people in our community that are just really isolated right now, that are working super hard to protect our communities. So we just want to give some hope back to them this Christmas. Also, I want to let you know that we are off next week, the 23rd, and on the 30th, so we will not have JW High School online. We will resume back in that first week of January. So take some time, spend it with family. I hope you guys have a great Christmas, and hopefully I will see you on Christmas Eve. Take care.